guys, you want to grab a seat, please? Thank you. Head and call a meeting to order. We're going to do an invocation followed by pledge of allegiance. Tammy, good.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you today, and we are so grateful that we were able to come and be able to meet, Lord. And I thank you, Father, that this Thanksgiving week help us to remember that there's always something to be thankful for. That we are thankful that we were able to get up and walk this morning, talk and breathe, and that we can communicate with one another. Help us to always remember, Father, that you are our source of strength, our source of joy, our source of help, and that we are so very thankful for the many blessings that you've given us. I ask you to protect everyone that is traveling this week, Lord. I just thank you for the guardian angels that surround them and protect them. Help us in this meeting today, Father, that your name always be glorified, that the words of our mouth and the meditation of our heart will always be acceptable to you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ready to take the roll, please, Tammy?
Mr. Linderman?
Here.
Mr. Adams is absent today. Ms. Hamilton? Here. Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mayor Wolf?
Here. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to minutes for November the 12th. Wow, we're doing something new to get 5 or 6 pages. Wow.
You
Good
have
job.
to remember, I come from a medical background where I transcribe every word the doctor says, so it's really hard for me.
Good job.
So it's like, I'll just type it off.
Any problem with the minutes? Acceptable?
Acceptable.
Good?
Good.
All right. Accept the minutes. Move to the first thing on the agenda is purchasing policy amendment. Mr. Truitt.
This is turning into the Chris show today. The first item is the related to the BDI contract. What we found out is we need to increase the time, or we need to extend the contract for BDI because of the pier situation in FEMA. Our purchasing regulations currently limit that to either the original contract term or just an additional 3 years. So what this amendment does is allow the city council to extend that renewal period in extenuating circumstances. It just gives you the power to do that.
Any comment from the audience on that? Back to the table. Any comments from the table? Just, have you had conversation with BDI about?
Yeah, yeah,
All good?
yeah, we're all good.
Okay.
We currently have them through 2025, and we're expecting to have to go through possibly 2027.
And you put the language together?
You, Mayor, you would want a motion to amend your purchasing policy with the revised version that you have before you.
You put this together?
Oh, yes, sir.
You looked at it, okay.
Yes, I'm
Thank you.
sorry, I didn't
No
understand your
problem
question.
at all. Good. We have a motion to accept?
Is it to accept or to change?
To amend the purchasing policy to
I make a
reflect the
motion to amend the renewal extension policy per the document, this document, the last one.
I'll second it.
Can we take the roll, please?
Okay, Mr. Linderman?
Yes.
Ms. Hamilton?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mayor Wolf?
Yes. All right, we're moving on to cost of moving the utilities, expansion at 15th Street.
This is, FDOT is resurfacing Highway 98. Mexico Beach had wanted turn lanes installed at 15th. This would be coming from the west, a left turn lane onto 15th in the center of the road, and then coming from the east right-hand turn lane onto 15th. We have to pay to move the utilities, the stormwater, sanitary sewer, and water lines to make the room for the road expansion. I was originally anticipating a cost somewhere between $20,000 and $50,000 for that work. The contractor doing the Highway 98 resurfacing project came back with $450,000 to $500,000. Doing some research on this, Panama City Beach is doing something similar. They're paying $366,000 for 2 miles. We're paying $450,000 for 500 feet. The contractor is looking at other options. However, I don't know that they're going to be anywhere near what I was expecting. So the decision that the city council needs to make is to either spend $500,000 on 500 feet of road or remove the turn lane. Those are the 2 options that we have at this point. Or we could wait until we get the second estimate from the contractor.
We couldn't put it up a bid or something, that's, I think, is Robert's got that contract, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, are there any comments from the audience on that?
Oh, yeah.
Before we go into it? Remember what we're talking about, okay? We're talking about the turn lanes.
Mayor,
We're talking
Council,
about the,
Rock Creek, Mexico Beach. Turning lanes. Why on earth would you need a right-hand turn on the 15th Street? That's the most stupidest thing I've heard of. Now, a left-hand turn, I can understand that because that's what backs up traffic on their way to Port St. Joe, especially in the evenings. You got 3 subdivisions you've already approved on 15th Street. One, they're getting ready to build houses, and the other 2 are pending. One's been pending for a couple of years, and you got the other one. So you got a lot of traffic on the back of 15th Street, and a lot of houses are back there. I can understand putting in a left-hand turn lane, but a right-hand turn lane, that's just insanity. Thank you.
Yeah, my name's Charles Smith. I own the Gulfview Motel. I do have a problem with this. If they're going to put, they said they're going to take from the white line to the motel, they're going to take 12 feet of my parking lot, which that means when I park my car in there, y'all are going to stub your toe on my tail hitch, a trailer hitch. So the problem about that also, putting it there, when you pull off to on the decel lane to go in, that makes that corner sharper. So people are going to have to pull out just a little bit further. And the cars that are on the other side, when people come over and in my going through my parking lot and try to do that, they're always almost hitting the cars on the other side going the opposite way. And already, if you guys have not noticed this, a dump truck has already gone by there, come around the corner, hit the fire hydrant and turned the fire hydrant completely around and cut both his tires and bent his rims. To me, it would just be a bad thing anyway. It costs too much money to do this. And plus you're taking away the parking lot on the front of my motel, which is the city and the state has allowed me, that motel, to be there since the early 40s and park there. So I don't really think it's fair to me to lose parking, and then if I lose parking on the front, where am I going to put my patrons, the people that bring in money for the city? Next door? Park them in the bank? I don't think so. So it's just a bad idea, and it costs way too much, and my taxes are way too high anyway. Thank you.
thank you. One more?
Lisa Logan. This is the first that I am actually hearing that there are 2 turn lanes. So you're saying that there is a right turn lane and a left turn lane?
Correct. The left turn lane is in the center of the road.
Yeah, duh. The right turn lane is beyond ridiculous. And the left turn lane, while people get irritated about having to stop and wait for cars to turn left, And yes, we have more traffic, but at the same time, I think a left turn lane is unnecessary too, but so be it if you want a left turn lane, but that right turn lane is beyond ridiculous. My question is, where are you going to move the utility lines to if you put a right turn and a left turn lane in there? Where are they going? They have to go away from the road, don't they? So where are you going to put?
Yeah, go ahead with your, that's one of the questions you're gonna ask, and we'll get you an answer. Go ahead with your statement. You're not gonna answer the question at the table, right?
You're not gonna answer the question?
At the table, no, we're not. We're gonna go ahead and move on, and then you'll get an answer for that question.
It is irresponsible for y'all to spend that kind of taxpayer dollars to put in a right turn lane that is totally unnecessary.
Okay. Anybody else in the audience? No, that was not sit down and shut up. That was make this statement and we'll answer it. We just can't have a conversation from the table one-on-one with a person. This is a forum for our community. We'll get back with answers. We've always got answers back to the people that have asked questions. We always will. All right, back at the table. First of all, I don't want to be irresponsible. I don't want to spend $500,000 for utilities to be moved. The initial plan was to take care of a drainage problem, and working on 98. There were some suggestions about the turns. That's my input. I would say move on. Let's get with the contractor, find out what they can do in 98. At some point, if we choose as a city to take capital, to spend money to make a repair or a change with a turn lane or something like that, then we should explore that if we're willing to spend that type of money. But that's my input. Anybody else?
Yeah, so Chris, I asked you yesterday, if you got an answer, will the stormwater repair occur if we move the utilities or not?
It will occur either way.
Okay, so we don't have to move the utilities or do the turn lanes to get the stormwater issue repaired as part of this.
Correct.
All right, and so that's good. I didn't know there was a right turn lane in this concept, and I agree it's not, I don't think it's necessary, and it wouldn't, I think the impact wouldn't justify having it. The left turn lane I would be in favor of, but not at $400,000. I mean, even $50,000, I would question that kind of money. But so I guess my recommendation would be to, I think they wanted an answer yesterday on this turn lane, so I think our answer should be no to the turn lane, right or left. We want to be adamant that we want the stormwater problem fixed, and we seek bids or something to see if that's even possible for the left turn lane. But it's not critical enough to spend that kind of money for right now. But I still think that it's a good idea in the future. That would be my recommendation.
I think it's, the land is just too tight to try to do something like that and have both those lanes. And I agree with what Chuck was saying about making that turn so tight that people are gonna hit things like the fire hydrant. We really haven't done a study to determine the need for that, and the cost is astronomical. To me, it's like, and possibly too, if we did the turning lanes, I think that would encourage more commercial vehicles to go down that lane instead of going maybe to 386. And if there's subdivisions coming down that road eventually, that would endanger them more so too. So to me, I would eliminate that from the project.
Did you talk to the contractor itself, or did you get the bids? You talked to George or the Ross?
We talked to the
mighty high.
yeah.
I mean, that seems like it's just thrown out there too.
We had a meeting with the contractors doing the actual work. There's a lot of complexity to it with degrade and existing utilities and all that sort of stuff. I don't think it's $500,000 worth of complexity, but that is the dollar amount that the contractor came back
Did he
with.
come back to?
So, can I ask Garrett a question? So, I understand it's not within the capability of the city. Is that because of the boring requirements, is there more to this than I understood?
Well, just the amount of pipe that you have to move in order to get that in, we don't have the equipment. I mean, that's 100 yards of pipe or more that you have to move, and we can't do that.
Okay. All right, thanks, Garrett.
I'll just give a little bit more background. Because of the specific characteristics of that site, they were looking at boring, looking at putting the stormwater and water mains down below everything else that's currently going there. And that's part of the reason that cost was so high. The second option he's currently working on is changing the existing project to raise the level of those utilities that we need to move. But I wouldn't anticipate that would come back much less than what we've already seen.
Okay, so our goal there is to basically have a vote on not wanting to spend the money to move the utilities. That's the motion we're looking for. And with that, we want to make sure we're moving forward with the project as it was initially delivered from DOT. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to eliminate the turn lane from the project.
Second.
And then both, or just one?
Both.
Both.
So lanes,
Lanes,
plural.
lanes.
Can we take a roll, please?
Okay, Mr. Linderman,
Yes.
Ms. Hamilton,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mayor Wolf.
Yes. Okay, moving on from there to discussion on potential schedule on the land development goal revisions. Chris, that's you?
Yep, sorry, I was just pulling it up here. The mayor and I have been working on a schedule to make sure that we provide enough opportunity for any interested party to provide feedback on the land development code. As the schedule sits, it was in the attachment. We're looking at having Alara present at the December 2nd planning and zoning. We're looking at doing a first of 2 workshops on December 16th in the evening, and then the second on January 8th in the morning. After that, on January 13th, after gathering all the feedback, I'll put everything together in a nice neat package. The city council can then decide whether or not to start work on the changes, or if needed, to set up a committee to do this. I did ask everyone here for feedback on the LDCs due today, and I did receive some, so we have a pretty good list started already.
Can I ask a
Sure.
question? So, I guess I thought we were gonna do a committee and then go to P and Z. So what I'm hearing is, we're gonna give this to the P and Z first to look at it, and then if needed, bring in a committee?
Yeah, the goal of the whole thing, I mean, obviously starting from the top, I mean, we got the city council together, we had Laura do her thing somewhere towards the 11th. We just tried to track it as we're going. And really, the December 12th, 16th, it's a week of. We can choose whether we do it on that Monday, or we can choose a day during that week. It's up to council, what you want to do. But the goal was to get all the everybody's input, P and Z. We talked with EPCI, Laura, just everybody we could, get this list put together. We had the council put in all their input. Chris has all that. So now the next step is the P and Z meeting. We've notified the P and Z, have we?
Yes.
That they're gonna talk about it at the meeting and have some input ready, and we'll add that. we're probably gonna have a couple of different pages, probably 4 or 5 pages of everything from everybody's input. Then we're gonna go to the citizens for 2 meetings.
Okay.
From there, when we've got everything put together, I think it should come back to the council and we'll decide if we wanna go with the committee.
All right, so,
Suggestion.
yeah, and, okay, that sounds reasonable. I was thinking the other way first, but this probably will make it more, keep it contained a little bit.
Tim, please speak up.
Sure. So I'm okay with this. I think it probably will help contain the discussion with the committee at the beginning. But when we get to the committee phase, whether we do it first or after this, I would recommend we hire a facilitator. And I'm thinking somebody from like the League of Cities, the gentleman we had here for the Charter Committee, to come in and help keep this within the agenda and the timing of it. And they wouldn't be running the meeting, but they present expertise. And I'd also recommend that Laura be there to answer questions, but not necessarily to provide any other part of that.
Yeah, we had Laura on the list, but
Yeah.
adding a facilitator might be a good suggestion.
Yeah,
So
so-
that's something, you can make a note of and we can bring that up during that time.
So, and then what's the guidance we're gonna give to the planning and zoning board so that they have a clear understanding of what their task is?
They're getting everything that we've done to this point. The list that the city administrator has.
So, I would recommend, we give them what the end state we're looking for, or what do we expect at the end of this from them? A recommendation of what ordinances to modify or look at? Or is, what is it we're asking them to do? So it's clear to them and they're not trying to figure it out.
I think that's what we're doing, what we've
Yeah.
already gathered.
I can speak to that. At this stage, all we're looking for is feedback on pain points or things that we know are broken or need to be fixed. Or things that P&Z has identified as not clear in the code or non-existent in the code. So we're looking for their feedback on what to change.
Okay.
Anybody else on the table?
At least we got a plan, I think the plan is what we've been not having. Going forward, we need to go and get some of these things in our ordinances conflicting to one another changed, that to me. And I think we're gonna make it.
Yeah. I would personally like to see the plan written down so that I can look at it, kind of a visual guy. So just talking about this is good, but I want to see it laid out.
I can take care of that.
That's why we did this schedule, is that you're asking for something more detailed?
With 2 little pages.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll talk to Chris.
I think what's good about the plan is it does include everybody.
Yeah, I'm
So
sorry.
that's great.
I didn't realize that's what that was.
Well, that's just, we're just trying to put something together
No,
to track it.
I see it now. Okay.
But the dates on here, everybody agrees with, that might be a conflict.
Yeah, we may be able to move some of the dates, like one says week of,
Okay, so that's.
we can choose one day within that week.
Pin
So-
nothing down.
Yeah, no, I see that. I'm good with that. I hadn't realized that was the plan.
Okay.
All right. Anything else on that, Chris?
No, sir.
We're moving on to citizens' comments then. Any citizens' comments? Rock?
Not so much a comment, but a question. Actually, maybe Mr. Sloan can answer my question. To make a zoning change, how is that, what would the city have to do to make a zoning change? And the reason why I'm asking that question, I think, because this has to do with what you guys are doing, you're looking at everything with your input and this and that. The number one complaint that everybody has in this city if you don't have commercial property. And that stupid zoning that's commercial/residential needs to come to an end, because you'll have nothing left.
Well, what you're really talking about is changing your land use categories or the areas that are within the categories. And that requires an ordinance. It would be an alteration to your future land use map, and perhaps some text that would have to be inserted in the comp plan itself to create, if you wanted to create a different category. So at a minimum, it's going to be an ordinance. It may be a change to your future land use map, and it may be some text amendments within the comp plan that would be required for land use change.
Okay. I just wanted to ask that question because I've heard so many different answers when I've asked. Oh, the city would be sued to hell for this and that because this is the way the code was, this is the way the zoning was. And nobody's ever brought up the fact about trying to change it to get something done that we need to do that should have been done years ago. But thanks for that information. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am?
Lorraine Lindsay, I would urge you, and this came up when we started looking at the charter review, there are little details that are maybe simple to change, and there are big issues, and the one that Rock just talked about, that's a big issue for us. That's going to take a lot of input and a lot of discussion. But I would urge you, and I will say this to Mr. Truitt, if you would put in your newsletter that, you know, some of us have been dealing, and I'm not the only one, with this land use code for a long time. And there are some little things that need to be changed in there that are pretty simple. One of them is that there's no definition of what public notice is. And this is an example of a minute thing that became a big problem for us. When I first started on planning and zoning, we had Nick as our lawyer, and he said public notice means you've got to put it out there for the public with those signs for 20 days. And then we had a couple of city administrators that 5 days, 7 days was okay. And, you know, I've been through that blasted document a bunch of times. And it always says public notice, but it doesn't say what that really is. And there are all kinds of examples like that I guess what I'm trying to say is I think we need to streamline some of that to start with without having to have a whole big discussion about that. That's a simple change, and it's something that we just need to, those clarifications. And maybe if Mr. Truitt would be willing to do this, to put something in your little newsletter to say if you know of things like these little detail things, maybe we could kind of make a list of simple changes as opposed to the big issues. Because the big issues are what we need to have more time to discuss as a community, whereas these little changes could, you know, make everybody's job a lot easier and quicker and get those done. So that would be my suggestion.
We'll ask you to be the first one to send it in to Chris in an email.
You will have it.
Thank you.
And so
I have a list.
Good deal.
also, Ms. Lindsay, because of your vast knowledge of the land development code, I certainly hope you sign up for the committee in case we do form a committee. I think you'd be an excellent resource for that.
Well, I'm waiting to see what happens and how this is going to work. But I do have a long-term interest in this. And, you know, we've
Maybe
been
you
through
could
some
be part of the-
struggles.
Maybe you could be part of the solution because of your knowledge.
Yes, well, I hope so. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else in the audience? All right. Citizens' comments are closed. Move to the table. Council comments.
Get it over with, Tim.
I'm done. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
I just had one thing, Joy Hutchinson with the Special Events Committee, who now has COVID, is asking that everyone please bring cookies to the tree lighting, which is this weekend, and the Christmas parade for the children, and to please individually wrap the cookies so that they can give out cookies to the children.
We usually throw the candy out, you know, with the golf cart parade, they don't need no cookies.
Well, be both.
And with Chief Walker not being here too, the fire department will be collecting toys for the children toy giveaway on Christmas Day.
Thank you, Julie.
And we had the turkey trot.
Yeah, and the turkey trot.
Turkey trot is Thanksgiving morning, be early, be a lot of people there. Then we have the golf cart parade Sunday.
Mayor, do we need to finish the land development code discussion? Have we reached the decision now we're gonna go with that process you recommend?
I think we did.
Okay, just want to be sure.
I think we
Just wanna be
decided to
sure
go
we're all on the
forward
same
with this,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
I mean, it doesn't mean we can't adjust it though.
No, I just want to be sure that we've settled that particular item on the agenda, and that's how we're proceeding.
All right, any other council comments?
I also wanted to thank Tommy and the crew for putting up the Christmas lights. They look great on there.
They did look good.
And that was quite
A
a
little early this year, but we
That's
had to do that because the Christmas tree
Right.
lighting Sunday, we wouldn't be back in time to do all that. So go ahead and enjoy them a little bit early.
It looked great. Thank
They
you.
look great. Mayor comments, I guess we're moving on. The only thing I had, oh, go ahead.
One more
Gary.
thing, I want everybody to be thankful for it's being Thanksgiving. Let's be,
Mhm.
like Tammy said in a prayer right there, let's be thankful. Let's everybody be thankful. Happy Thanksgiving.
Mayor comments, the only thing I had, the council's decided to let Chris take off after this meeting. His house is closed, so we're gonna give him the rest of the day off and let him take out and help his wife move, so,
Thank you. You saved my marriage.
so we're in agreement you get him to take off after this. Obviously, I'm the same as Jerry and everybody else at this table, council. Happy Thanksgiving, have a good week, and I look forward to the golf parade. I think that's a great thing for this community, and I really do look forward to it. So it's a good job. Staff comments, city administrator?
In front of you, you have the heavy rain event procedures that Tommy put together. Do you want to say anything about this, or just speak for itself?
Yeah, I had a couple of things. If you want to finish yours, and then I'll come up.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
You didn't miss your turn, we're moving on to staff comments. Huh?
Good morning, council. The last meeting, the mayor had asked me to go ahead and get this done, and I did. And before y'all, I gave you a copy of it. This is a heavy rain event. I think Mr. Tim had brought this up before after we had one of our big rains. We looked back, the city did not have a procedure, so we put this one together. I gave it to the city administrator to look over, and he said everything looked fine. I think this pretty much will cover anything that we have as far as any kind of heavy rain, and this kind of would lap over into a tropical storm or hurricane. I'm working on one of these. It's actually for the hurricane. I'm working when Sandy gets back. I'm going to get with him, so get his input on it. So we will have procedures in place. I won't go through all this. You can look it over, and if anybody would like to see it, I have some extra copies. I'll be glad to give you one of them. And we can kind of move forward with that if y'all want to adopt that. A couple other things I want to talk about. One was trash pickup. We do have holiday coming up, Thanksgiving on Thursday. The trash pickup will be tomorrow for Thursday's pickup. The guys will be off. During the slack season, we do give them a holiday day off. During the busy season, they don't get any days off. So tomorrow, Thursday's trash will be picked up tomorrow on Wednesday. They will be off on Thursday for Thanksgiving with their family, and then they will be back on Friday for Friday's trash pickup. So they'll still be the 2-day pickup. One other thing I want to talk about, the mayor asked me to talk about, was the stormwater ditches. If you rode around and you notice down 7th Street, the ditch comes through Colorado all the way over and goes back behind Miss Tammy's house. The Public Works Department has done a tremendous job in cleaning, cutting, and scraping those ditches out. We got the one this past week that starts on the curve at 5th Street and goes all the way around to Maryland Parkway and comes through 7th Street Park. All of those have been cut, cleaned out. So we are getting those in good shape. A lot of hard work went into getting those done, especially the one on California. Miss Tammy had told me before, the gentleman lives there by that one, was kind of complaining about it. We cleaned that one also. We're gonna put them on a schedule to about once every quarter, go cut them back down, and then once a month, we're gonna spray weed killer and keep them killed down. So we're not gonna let them get back to shape that they were in. So I think that's gonna be a tremendous help with our stormwater, especially the one coming from Colorado that us guys went and looked at the other day. Also wanted to talk about, Mr. Linderman asked me about coming up with a deal with the garbage dumpster at the boat ramp. So thought about this long and hard, and this is what I come up with, and you guys can decide if you think it's feasible or not. I would like to, if we're gonna keep the dumpster, I would like to move that dumpster back here to the side of the yard. 2 reasons. One, we can keep check on it, and kind of monitor it a little better. What I'd like to do is we'd have to pour a slab, put the dumpster on the slab, and then have a chain link fence built all the way around it with a gate on it that once you opened it and walked inside, the gate would close automatically. That would keep the bears out of it. You know, when we had it here last time, Mike Guy with FWC had kind of chastised us about if we let the bears get in again, we were gonna get a ticket. So we'd have to have some kind of enclosure that would make sure the bears couldn't get in it. Also, I think we probably need to put some kind of camera on it so that we can monitor what people are putting in it. That way if somebody puts something in it that we don't, it's not supposed to be in that dumpster, maybe we have a video, we can kind of go back and look and see what's going on with it. Just a roundabout figure, total expense probably with the fence, the slab, all of that, maybe the camera, probably around $3,000 to do all that. So something that might be a little less, a little more, but that's gonna be a pretty good ballpark figure on it. So y'all can kind of decide on that if you want to do it. I talked to Mr.
Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'd like to get the council's input on that. I personally feel that moving the trash can from the boat ramp is not what we want to do. What I would like to not want to do, because I think that just makes all the 55-gallon drums and everything else get overloaded. I mean, but could we use some of the things you just said, the fence, the camera, or whatever, and apply it to the boat ramp?
Sure. Absolutely. We have power down there, so we could put the camera down there. We already have internet because of the credit card machine for the boat ramp. So absolutely. I mean, do the same thing there we do in here. I just think that we're going to have to put some kind of a cage on it to keep the bears out of it, you know. And even if they didn't put the lid back down and lock it like they're supposed to, if it's inside of a cage, that will keep the bears from being able to get in there and throw the trash around.
Yeah, I'd like the input of the council from moving it from the boat ramp to City Hall versus.
Yeah, you guys make the call. I think it would work either place. That would work at either place.
Any input?
I personally think that the ramp is still too isolated and it's gonna be more likely to be abused. But I do like the idea of moving it with the fence and the camera, but people could still get in there, is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Maybe it's
Everybody would be
closer to-
able to still use it just like they are now. We put a sign up that it is under video surveillance. Hopefully that would deter people from putting metal, televisions and stuff like that in it. It has got a little better now that the all-season's got here as far as what we're getting out of it that's not supposed to be in it. But you know, it's still, the metal is the big thing. If they put any kind of metal bed post or something in there, and the garbage truck doesn't catch it when they dump it, that could tear the garbage truck up. So that's the big reason for that.
So, the last time I was down there at the dumpster, Tommy, I didn't see a sign that said what you can't or can put in there.
Hey, somebody maybe tore it down. I'll have somebody check it today. We had sign down there saying to make sure you lock it for the bears, and then there was one down there of what was supposed to be put in it and not put in it.
So it's not there.
Okay, well,
When I
somebody
looked
probably put it in the
2 months
garbage
ago.
can.
So, yeah, so without that, I don't, because I went down there one day thinking, can I dump this in there? It didn't say what I
Okay.
could or couldn't put it in.
I'll
So
check it, we
there's
get
that.
it back up.
And then secondly, I think we need to keep the dumpster at the boat ramp. It's used by a lot of the fishermen to dump stuff, and I don't know where they would put it. It is isolated, so if we can put a security camera down there, that would be helpful. I think it would, even if you put a fake camera down there, people would be less likely to put stuff in there because they know they're being recorded. I mean, it's just how those things work.
Not now that you just said it over.
That's what I
Put a real account.
But, so, anyway, I'm in favor of leaving it down there. And you're right, we do need to figure out some way so that the bears stay out of it. And to try and keep the honest people honest and they know what they
Right.
can and can't put in there. But as far as that goes, I also think we need to look at handling, where does somebody dump metal objects, an old refrigerator? Do they take it to Gulf County, or do we need to set up something here? Or how do they know that? I have no idea how you find that out.
Can't you take it to Gulf County, but you pay extra because we're Bay County?
Well, I'm told you can, but how would I know that? How would I know to call Tom? How would I know?
They call me pretty regular.
What do you, I mean, you can go to the dump, I mean, that's where I go.
$62 a ton, what it costs to dump Gulf County.
My point is, I've only been here 4 years, so you gotta forgive me. I didn't know the process. I did call Tommy because I know Tommy probably knew. But do you think most residents know that?
We could post something on the
Yeah,
website.
I just question that. And I also question, maybe we ought to talk about, say, once a year, having a dump site where people can bring their junk and we pay to haul it away as a city. Because people have old stuff that they either can't haul to the dump or pick up, or, and I've been in many cities where annually or every 6 months, there was you could dump everything within limits. I mean, toxic chemicals and stuff had to be limited or whatever, but I think we ought to look into that.
Don't we
Mr.
already have that in Bay County?
Mr. Garrison, you know, he presented that one time to us, that he would be willing to do that. And I don't know if he ever gave us a price on that or not, but he said that he would, you know, if we wanted to go back to, if somebody put a refrigerator or washer outside the road, that he had the license to be able to take that stuff and get rid of it. So if you would like, I will get a hold of him and find out what price and get back with you guys and see if it's something that the city would like to do.
Call Amnesty Day or just an open dump day.
Yeah, if it was even like once a month, just a once a month thing.
Or, he picks up the tree trimming twice a month, something.
Yeah, he said he could do like, you know, if we wanted, if it was something like every 2 weeks or once a month, or like Mr. Lindeman said, once every 6 months. He said he would, any way we wanted to do it, he would give us a price on that. The problem that, the reason the city quit doing this back since Michael was the fact that when we take something to the landfill, let's just say somebody brings a refrigerator to the yard or we pick a refrigerator up, before we can get rid of that refrigerator at the landfill, being the municipality, we have to get the Freon out of it. If it's a lawnmower, we have to get the oil out of it. That was the reason the city got away from taking the white goods and stuff. It wasn't necessarily a bed mattress or something. It was the Freon and stuff like that. Now, if you like a homeowner can take it to the landfill and they can get rid of it. They can pay to get rid of it. But when it comes to us, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, all I'm suggesting is, I think we ought to have a program here for people to get rid of that kind of junk, some way, somehow. Whether it's being picked up by Mr. Garrison as he goes through. I'm kind of hesitant to see refrigerators and washing machines sitting by the side of the road, and couches and that kind of stuff. But is there a way we could, you know, people could dump it? I've seen it where people go to a site, the city directed, once a year, twice a year, and they can dump their stuff and the city takes care of it, or we hire Mr. Garrison to take care of it. That's more what I'm recommending.
So they would bring it without the Freon in it?
I don't know how that would work. You know, I don't know if Mr. Garris would take it, but I think it's something we need to look at and see what we can and can't do, the issues, what it would cost. But I think it's needed here.
All right, then, city administrator, take that on as a task to have, get a hold of them and see what they would think it looks like, because Tommy makes a good point about bringing a refrigerator there as a city. If it has Freon, then it's a problem.
That's right.
Versus an individual, so we'll,
Mayor, I believe when Mark talked to us last time about that, I don't think you have to take anything out of it. I think Mark can take it and then he does what he has to with it. You wouldn't have to take Freon out and then bring it to us and him pick it up. I think if you just wanted to get rid of it, he can take it as is, and then he would do what he had to do to get rid of it.
all right, look at a plan for a quarterly pickup of those type of items,
Okay.
other than trash.
Yeah, I would be concerned about, especially because Emily picks up stuff like every 2 weeks, to have trash, old junk, sitting on the side of the road in neighborhoods and in our city for a couple weeks at a time. I don't think that would not be desirable.
All right. That's good.
And isn't it, Tim, like in Bay County when they have Amnesty Day, don't people bring those items to a particular place? They don't come
To the
pick 'em up?
landfill.
Right, yeah,
And that's twice a year.
okay.
I got one more thing, Mayor and Council,
Well,
I'll be
before you
through.
jump off, I want to make sure we got direction here. What's the direction you believe you got from the council on the trash cans at the boat ramp?
I have no issue as far as if y'all wanna leave it at the boat ramp, we can do that. I was going by what Mr. Guy.
Okay, you need that answer. Council, do we want it to stay at the boat ramp?
Boat ramp.
Boat ramp, okay.
Okay.
Staying at the boat ramp, okay. Go ahead, Nat. What are you
Yeah,
gonna do?
yeah, Mike Guy, he gave me direction on what we needed to do with it to keep it somewhere to keep the bears out of it. So I think if we build the fence around it with the self-locking, once you have to open it, go inside, once you go inside, it closes back and locks, and then you'd have to open it and come back out. That would clear us as far as the bears, and I think we would be fine, and we like I said, we can put a camera or something on it down there, because we do have internet at the boat ramp.
Okay, so.
I'll get y'all a definite price on what it'll be, and maybe by the next meeting, I can bring it back to you, and y'all, that way I can say, yes, it's gonna be this amount.
Okay, so the council wants to go ahead and move forward with applying those things that Tommy had suggested, if he moved it over here, to apply those things at the boat ramp. Is that correct?
I wanted to move it, but I'm outnumbered, so.
Isn't that welcome to outnumbered?
The main thing for me is efficiency, where we have a dumpster, but folks come in, they bait, it stinks, and I looked the other day, there's nothing but 2 garbage cans, I think, that would be enough to hold.
Yeah, there's not many other than the fish cooler.
So,
Okay, I just want to make sure you got some direction and you guys can work
Okay,
out how to
okay.
do the details.
The last thing, hopefully this is gonna end up being a good thing. I talked with Chris about it yesterday. The situation we have on the stormwater issue on 4th Street, with Monty. I talked with FWC yesterday. Technically, that is an FWC issue, because it's their water coming off of Highway 98, the same as it's doing down here at the motel on 15th Street. So
FWC or DOT?
FDOT, so FDOT.
No, okay, DOT, okay.
Yeah, FDOT. I got a hold of Martin Burse. He is the guy that's over this area. After the holidays, he's gonna send a group of his guys down here that handle stormwater, and he's gonna meet with us, and we're gonna look at it and see if we can come up with a solution to help him out. So this, I mean, you see what they're gonna do there at 15th Street. They're gonna put pipe in and all. So hopefully we can get some help out of them, and it'll be less money on the city.
When is he coming to do that?
He told me that after the Thanksgiving holidays, he would get back with me. You know, they don't, everything they do now is contracted out. They have contractors. So he said he'd have to get with the guys that do the stormwater, and he would call me and let me know. So as soon as he can get back with me, I'll let you guys know. And if y'all want to go down there with them, we'll meet with them and see. I think maybe we can, if you remember, after Hurricane Michael, FDOT helped us with sidewalks. They reported about every one of them that was busted, so I think maybe we can get some help with this for him. I explained to him that this guy is flooding, his water was coming around, and he remembers about 3 years ago when I contacted him about cutting that shoulder down so the water would kind of have a place to run and perk off, so he is familiar with that area. So hopefully we can get some help out of them. It'll be less money to the city. Maybe they'll fix it.
In the meantime, Avcon has given us a line, a
Yes.
site to Florida
Mhm.
for 4th Street. Have you got the cost for that piping? for that?
Not yet. I'm gonna have to probably turn the map over to, I talked with David from Dewberry, and David suggested that I give it to, our engineering company and let them, because I told Chris, if we went in and put ADS pipe, just like we do front of somebody's house, we could technically pipe it in all the way to Florida Avenue. I can give you a price on what it would cost for the material and the city doing that in-house, and we can do that. Now, if it comes to setting concrete boxes and stuff like that, then, you know, when we went and looked at it, that's probably gonna take an engineer's gonna have to engineer that, and probably contractors to put all that in. I don't have the manpower, but now if we just wanted to do 18-inch ADS pipe, we could do that in-house.
But you should get with Avcon, they had 2 boxes, I believe.
Mhm.
One at the beginning of 4th Street and one at the end towards Florida.
Mhm.
So you'll need the prices of those boxes.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then you get the pipe, and then that Avcon part will be, you'll have that answer, and then whatever goes on with
Right.
DOT, we could decide, what council could decide what they want to do.
Yeah.
And would this go under multiple driveways?
Well, we talked about it when we went and looked at it, taking it across the street and going down technically the left-hand side if you're standing at 98 looking down 4th
So
Street.
not so many driveways.
Because it's the less amount of driveways, less amount of anything we'd have to go through to get to Florida Avenue.
Right, okay.
Yep. So,
Okay.
be the cheapest way and the easiest way to go down the other side of the street. And Tanya said it wouldn't matter, whichever way we went, as far as that goes. But as soon as, like I said, as soon as I can get with DOT and they get back with us, I'll give y'all, you know, an update or let you know if you want to go meet when they come. I will be on vacation next week. I will still have my phone. If anybody needs me, you can call me. I'm just going to be at home, but I'll be available if you need me. Randy will be handling everything as far as out here for that week.
One other thing, Tommy, on a different note, will you be able to put that temporary American flag up for the turkey trot?
Yes, ma'am. We'll get everything tomorrow down, the flag up, all the garbage cans, everything that Mr. Harold gave me a list of what they need. Everything will be ready to go for that. I will be back out here on Sunday for the music, to do the music down here for the golf cart parade, and I'd like to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
City Administrator, anything else?
No, sir.
Motion to adjourn?
Please.
Second.
No comment.
We already did citizen comments. Did you have something, Rob, that you'd like to bring up?
Yes, I do.
We can do that real quick.
So I want to thank Tommy again for the lights. I mean, I came back last night, it looked really great. Question for our water guy here, the expert. Just got that thing in the mail again. Every year, you gotta have your backflow preventer on your sprinkler inspector. It's like $150. I've asked several times over the last couple of years, if the city would get somebody, works for the city, qualified to do that. And, you know, you're paying these plumbers $150 to come out here for 10 minutes to check the thing, and I'd be willing to pay the city money, $50, whatever, to inspect it. And it's every year you gotta do this. And the second question, I know you're getting all these new meters. Are they gonna have backflow preventer valves in them so we don't have to go through this crap?
Irrigation or house meter, what do you mean?
Well,
Your
It
house
seems-
meter has to have a dual check on it. Your irrigation meter has to have RPZ or backflow, depending if you have a sprinkler system or a pool. And it's every 2 years for residential, 1 year for commercial.
well, it depends what valve you use, according to the plumber.
No, I don't Don't let them tell you that, they're trying to get you money.
Okay, you guys just send me one to have it done again. Every year I get a letter. And I just had it done last year, the year before, the year before, the year before.
No, sir, you shouldn't get a letter. If you're residential is every 2 years. And I'm certified to test.
Okay.
So the reason we didn't, you know, at the time when I got certified, Mr. Glenn was here, we didn't want to compete with the plumbers.
Mhm.
We didn't want to make it seem like we was taking money out of their pockets when they were trying to feed their family. But that's up to the city administrator and the council. If that's something that they would like for me to start doing, I'm gonna leave that up to them.
Okay.
Do we
Okay.
send letters out
But it's a state thing, to get the backflow.
on these back?
Yes, sir, DEP.
DEP is not city,
Yeah.
that's a state thing.
No, I know that, I know that. To me, it makes no sense. I mean, you can have two pipes, I got 2 meters right next to each other
Yes, sir.
with 200-foot pipes, one goes to the house, one goes to the sprinkler. But I gotta put on a sprinkler system, but not the house side.
Well, you have a dual check on your, it's the same thing, but it's just a little smaller on your house meter. So you do have a backflow device on your house.
So why can't they do the same thing for the other half, for the sprinkler system?
Well, because it's hazard. You have different levels of hazards. You know, coming from your house is a less hazardous material coming through your house, but on your sprinkler system, you have to worry about back siphonage. You can get contaminants into the system that way, so it's different levels to it.
Okay.
Rock, how do you get notified, how do you get notified?
You guys send me a letter.
The city.
City.
City sends me a letter. I get it every year. I just called the plumbing place last week, so
Okay.
I might be getting the bill in the mail. I don't even know if they come out. They come out, I'll see them occasionally. They'll just come up to your house and do the inspection, and they send you guys a form letter. And you're supposed to have it on file.
So you go out and you hire a person to come in there to do it?
Yeah, every year I've been doing this, and it told me that there's 2 different kinds of valves, and one valve is yearly requirement, and if you have a double valve or something, it's a 2-year requirement.
No, sir.
That's what they told me.
No, sir.
All right,
Well-
let's do this. I understand what you're looking for.
Mhm.
Okay, let's get with the city administrator, see if it's something that the council thinks that the city should do or not. That's the decision you're looking for, right? Or go out on your own and get it done, as you've been doing.
Yeah, and I'll check with you and find out when he sent your last letter, because I'll cancel the plumber out again, so I spend another $150. I'll get another year, but you're the one sending me the letter, so I assume I have to get it done.
And
Okay,
I was-
thank you.
Chris, if you look into that, are we sending them out too often? You know, annually versus semi-annually?
That's the same stuff on Friday, right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
This is a state mandatory thing, it's nothing to do with the city, though. That's something we got to look at too. The state makes Garrett City, don't make it, tell the city these letters out to the residents.
Okay. You got it?
I'm good.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn.
Put it in.
We're good?
Second it.
Okay.
Oh, Jared, we didn't talk about the statue.